Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Man, what a bombshell to start the week. The entire NFL world woke up in absolute shock after one of the most unexpected moves in recent memory. Nick Bosa, the face of the San Francisco 49ers defense, has reportedly walked away from the team and is heading straight to Chicago to sign with the Bears. Nobody saw this coming. Just a few days ago, Bosa was posting training clips in Niners gear, talking about unfinished business after last season's heartbreaking playoff run. But behind the scenes, things were apparently boiling over. According to several whispers from inside the locker room, tension between Bosa and the front office had been growing for months, mostly due to contract structures, incentives, and what's being described as a massive breakdown in trust. The Bears, hungry to rebuild their identity, swooped in with a jaw-dropping offer that reportedly made Bosa rethink his loyalty overnight. Imagine the chaos. The 49ers lose their defensive anchor, their locker room leader, and arguably one of the most feared pass rushers in football. Fans are furious, teammates are speechless, and the league is buzzing with one question. How did this even happen so fast? If we rewind just a bit, everything seemed perfectly stable in San Francisco. Bosa had come off another elite season, double-digit sacks, endless highlight plays, and that signature relentless motor that made him the heart of the Niners defense. He was the guy who set the tone, the one everyone looked to when the team needed a spark. But insiders are now saying that things began to sour after off-season contract discussions turned messy. Sources claim Bosa felt disrespected by the way management handled extension talks, especially considering he's been carrying the team's defensive reputation for years. And when the Bears came knocking, they didn't just offer money. They offered a new beginning. They reportedly pitched him as the centerpiece of a historic defensive rebuild, giving him more freedom, leadership influence, and guaranteed cash that dwarfed San Francisco's final offer. So, while the public saw loyalty and legacy, Bosa apparently saw a front office that took him for granted. And that's when everything started to crumble from the inside out. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Apparently, this move didn't just happen overnight. Multiple reports suggest that Bosa's camp had been in quiet talks with the Bears for weeks, maybe even months, before this became public. That's right, this might not have been an impulsive move at all, but a calculated decision from a player who felt cornered. One source close to the situation even said, Bosa's been done with the Niners for a while. He just didn't want the backlash until his next move was ready. It's wild to think about. Imagine Bosa showing up at team meetings, training alongside his teammates, knowing he was already halfway out the door. It makes you wonder how much the coaching staff knew or whether they were blindsided just like everyone else. The Bears front office, on the other hand, apparently moved in silence, crafting an offer so lucrative and enticing that even the most loyal player would hesitate to turn it down. Now, Chicago fans are celebrating, while Niners fans are stuck in disbelief, trying to process the betrayal of a player they thought would retire in red and gold. Social media, of course, has completely exploded. The moment the news broke, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with reactions ranging from pure disbelief to absolute rage. Some fans called Bosa a traitor, accusing him of chasing money instead of legacy. Others defended his decision, arguing that players deserve to prioritize themselves in a league where loyalty from teams is often one-sided. But the memes, man, the memes are everywhere. People photoshopping Bosa in Bears uniforms, decrying Jordan memes over Niners logos, even clips from The Office being used to describe Kyle Shanahan's reaction. It's chaos. Yet underneath all the noise, you can feel that this move is shaking the core of the NFL. The Bears just went from rebuilding to dangerous overnight, and the 49ers suddenly look vulnerable. It's a perfect storm of drama, business, and emotion, and everyone's picking a side. Inside the 49ers facility, the mood is reportedly tense, even emotional. Some players are said to feel betrayed, especially those who looked up to Bosa as their captain and motivator. One anonymous player reportedly told a reporter, "It's like losing your big brother." He was our guy. Now he's just gone. That kind of statement tells you how deep this cut goes. For the coaching staff, this is an earthquake. Losing your best defender right before the season, without any warning, completely reshapes your strategy. Shanahan and Lynch are reportedly scrambling, trying to control the narrative and stabilize the locker room. But it's hard to replace a player like BOSA, not just his talent, but his presence. Meanwhile, BOSA's camp has remained eerily silent, which only fuels the fire. No social media posts, no press statements, nothing. It's like he's letting the world burn while he packs for Chicago. And honestly, maybe that silence says more than any explanation could. But make no mistake, this isn't just about football. This is about pride, control, and the evolving power dynamic between players and teams. We're watching the modern NFL where stars aren't afraid to take their futures into their own hands, even if it means torching bridges on the way out. BOSA's move, shocking as it is, fits perfectly into that narrative. Players are realizing their worth, and when a team crosses the line or undervalues them, loyalty evaporates. The Bears, credit where it's due, saw the opportunity and pounced. They gave BOSA what he wanted: respect, leadership, and a clean slate. But for the 49ers, this is a nightmare. They didn't just lose a player, they lost their identity on defense. And no matter what statement they release or who they try to sign next, the shadow of this betrayal will hang over San Francisco for a long, long time. Now that the dust is starting to settle, the real question is, what does this mean for both teams moving forward? For Chicago, this could be the turning point they've been waiting for. After years of mediocrity and defensive inconsistency, landing Nick BOSA feels like a signal to the entire league that the Bears are serious again. Imagine BOSA lining up alongside a young, hungry defense that's been craving leadership and edge. Reports say the Bears' locker room erupted when they heard the news. Players cheering, coaches grinning ear to ear, even front office staff calling it the beginning of a new era. And you can't blame them. With BOSA on board, Chicago suddenly becomes a legitimate threat in the NFC North. He brings experience, swagger, and that relentless intensity that can flip a team's mentality overnight. But it's not just about what he brings on the field. It's about what he represents. The Bears are tired of being overlooked, and signing BOSA is their way of saying, we're done rebuilding. We're ready to dominate. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, the aftermath is looking uglier by the hour. Fans are flooding team pages demanding answers. Some are calling for heads to roll in the front office, blaming General Manager John Lynch for mishandling the situation. How do you let your best player walk? One fan wrote on X, summing up the collective heartbreak of a fan base that believed the team was on the verge of another Super Bowl run. Without BOSA, the Niners' pass rush looks shaky at best. Opposing quarterbacks who used to dread facing San Francisco's front line are now breathing a sigh of relief. It's not just about losing a superstar. It's about losing that fear factor, that psychological edge that made the Niners' defense legendary. And the timing couldn't be worse. With the season just around the corner, trying to fill the void left by BOSA feels almost impossible. Unless they pull off a miracle trade, this could spiral fast. From a business standpoint, though, you have to admit, BOSA played this perfectly. He used leverage, silence, and timing to his advantage. He didn't burn bridges publicly, didn't cause drama in the media, but made his move when it mattered most. That's chess, not checkers. He knew the Bears had cap space. He knew they were desperate for a defensive identity, and he knew the Niners were backed into a corner. By walking away now, he forced both franchises to redefine themselves, one ascending, the other scrambling. It's a power move that will be studied for years, especially in an era where player empowerment is rewriting the rulebook. If BOSA thrives in Chicago, this could set a precedent. Other stars might start looking at their situations and asking, why stay loyal if loyalty isn't mutual? It's the kind of move that changes not just rosters, but mindsets across the entire league. What's fascinating is how this saga exposes the human side of football that fans often forget. Behind the contracts and the glory are relationships, egos, and emotions. Maybe BOSA really did love San Francisco. Maybe he didn't want to leave, but sometimes principle outweighs comfort. People close to him say he felt like the organization stopped believing in him as a leader, that they saw him as just another piece rather than the foundation. When you're a generational talent and feel undervalued, that hits hard. The Bears, on the other hand, made him feel wanted, made him feel essential again. They reportedly told him he'd have a say in defensive schemes, mentoring younger players, even in future draft picks. That kind of respect can't be faked, and apparently, that's what won him over. So yeah, it's business, but it's personal too, and that's why this story resonates so deeply. Now, if we talk purely football, imagine what's coming. The Bears' defense under BOSA could become terrifying. Opposing offenses will have to rewrite game plans from scratch. Double teams, shifting protections, constant pressure. It's the kind of presence that tilts the entire field. And with Chicago's improving offense, this move could finally bring balance to a team that's struggled to find its identity for years. Analysts are already predicting a playoff run, maybe even a Cinderella story if everything clicks. For the Niners, though, this is soul-searching time. They still have talent, sure, but chemistry like BOSA's can't be replicated overnight. Unless someone steps up big, that defense won't look the same. And you just know that when these two teams eventually face each other, it's going to be fireworks. The prodigal son versus his old family, all eyes glued to the screen. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In the end, whether you see it as betrayal or rebirth depends on perspective. For some, Nick Bosa walking out on the 49ers is unforgivable, the ultimate act of disloyalty. For others, it's empowerment, a man taking control of his destiny in a system that rarely gives players that freedom. Either way, this move will echo through the NFL for years. It's the kind of moment fans will remember where they were when they heard the news. The 49ers lost more than a player. They lost a symbol. The Bears gained more than a star. They gained belief. And Nick Bosa? He might just have rewritten his own legend. Whether this story ends in triumph or regret, one thing's for sure. The drama, the emotion, and the ripple effect have only just begun. The league may never look at loyalty the same way again. And here's the thing. No matter how much people debate it, no matter how many hot takes Flood Sports shows this week, there's something undeniably fascinating about the way this whole saga unfolded. It's like watching the NFL's version of a blockbuster betrayal, full of plot twists, silent negotiations, and emotional fallout. Bosa wasn't just a player. He was a symbol of grit, discipline, and dominance. Seeing him in Bears colors feels almost surreal, like a scene from an alternate reality. But deep down, it's a reminder that football is a business first, passion second. Players get traded, cut, replaced. Loyalty lasts only as long as the next paycheck or the next promise broken. And Bosa? He decided not to wait around for promises anymore. He took his destiny into his own hands and rewrote the rules. It's bold, it's controversial, and it's going to haunt San Francisco for years. Every sack he makes in a Bears uniform will echo back to Levi's Stadium like a ghost of what could have been, a constant reminder of how quickly love can turn into resentment in the NFL's cold, calculated world. But let's be real. For fans, this is pure entertainment gold. This kind of drama is what fuels the league between the games, what keeps talk shows buzzing and fan bases divided. Chicago's fan base is euphoric, already calling Bosa their savior, while 49ers supporters are in collective heartbreak, trying to figure out how their hero became the villain overnight. And somewhere in between all that noise, Bosa is probably smiling, already focused on proving that he made the right call. Because that's how competitors think. Silence the critics with performance, not words. If he dominates with the Bears, this story transforms from betrayal into redemption. But if he struggles, the narrative flips back to regret. Either way, this chapter guarantees headlines for the rest of the season. It's not just about football anymore. It's about legacy, power, and the unpredictable human heart beating beneath those helmets. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.